Hey everybody, welcome to the Truly Myrtle podcast. I'm Libby. I'm down here in New Zealand. The sun is shining and it feels like spring. I can't believe it. It's so nice. I'm just loving it. I am the designer at Truly Myrtle. This is a knitting podcast, although I'm going to talk to you a little bit about other things as well today. I design patterns at Truly Myrtle. You know, I realized this last few days that I think I started blogging 13 years ago. Nearly 13. It's been a long time that I've been doing this. Anyway, it's all fun and games. So I design patterns. You can find those over at trulymyrtle.com and on Ravelry. And I also have Wardrobe Toolbox. I'm the founder of Wardrobe Toolbox. So you can find me at wardrobetoolbox.com. The doors are about to open. I'm going to talk to you about that in a little bit as well. And I'll tell you about what it is and all of that good stuff. Alrighty, I can see you. Throw me a comment to say hi in the chat. Hi Sabrina, nice to see you. I'm going live on Facebook, on my Facebook page, Truly Myrtle, over there. And I'm also going live on YouTube. So if you're catching this later, this was a live video and I get to chat to you in the comments and it's so much fun. And I do it every Thursday. I sit down and have a chat with you. Yay, from Florida. Oh, Jessica, have we got the same weather? You're probably much warmer than I am where you are in Florida. It's crisp. It's crisp and sunny, although I put on a jersey. I put on one of my little sweatshirts, my maiden sweatshirt, and I just thought, oh, I feel too hot. I feel far too hot. So I've got Neve on instead this morning. Neve? No, this isn't Neve. This is... No, it is Neve. What have I called this one? I've forgotten now. Oh my gosh, too many names. Too many Irish names from my Irish roots. Hi Fiona, nice to see you. Hi Tamsin, nice to see you. And Jean and Carol and Sydney. How are you, Becky, back in Sydney? Is it nice? 29 degrees. It is quite nice there. It's definitely not that here. Hi Sharon from windy Melbourne. Hi Christine. I think you must have our weather because it's beautiful. Blue skies here. Hi Judith, glad to see you too from Alberta, Canada. And hi Mary Ruth, how are you? It's nice seeing your face pop up every week, Mary Ruth. In New Orleans, it's rainy. Hi Claire, you had a big frost this morning. Oh, and it's still a bit chilly. Well, I went for a walk this morning and it was the first day in a long time that I just wore a t-shirt. I've been wearing my little sweatshirt sometimes on the colder days. I've got this electric pink sweatshirt because I'm very conscious I don't want to be run over. And so I've got this electric pink sweatshirt on cooler days. And then I have a little rain jacket, which unfortunately is black, but it has got shiny things on it. I think I need to find a really electric yellow one. But anyway, sometimes I put those on because it just takes the edge off depending on how cold it is. But this morning I thought, I think I'm going to be too hot. I think it is a t-shirt day. And it was indeed. I was just perfect in a t-shirt. Hey everybody, here all coming. Barbara, nice to see you. Jessica, oh, it's Florida hurricane season. Yes, I heard. I've been hearing about how you've had hurricanes that are whipping on through. Second part. Got another one. Hi Alyssa, nice to see you. It's sunny but cold in Palmerston North. Oh good, you've almost finished Rita. Rita was our last pattern inside Wardrobe Toolbox and she is a fast knit. She's a little vest. I don't know if I've worn her on the podcast. I may have. I'm not sure. I'll wear her again, I think, before it gets too much warmer. Anyway, I knitted her I knitted two different samples of that one. I knitted one in like a lovely chunky Corriedale, and that's like quite electric. It's a Manos yarn. It's quite an electric chartreuse sort of color. Pretty wild. I like that one. And then the other one I knitted with 3 yarns held together, a DK, a fingering, and a mohair. And it's just, I love that one. I cropped it as well. It's a little vest, a slip over. Everyone says it's a slip over. So anyway, but it's nice and fast and it's light and you can just throw it over things. It has no sleeves, obviously, and quite a nice scoop, a bit like my necklace. It has this sort of scoop neck on it. And I cropped my second one off. It's pink. I cropped it off, and I've been wearing that with my skirts and jeans and things. It's really good. It's really good. Paloma. Oh, you're trying to help me out with my top. Sabrina has it right. It's Nula. That's right. It's not Neve. I do love the name Neve. but it isn't Neve. I haven't got a pattern called Neve. I always thought about calling a child Neve, but I thought people would struggle with the pronunciation once they saw it written down. Nyama, they'd say, and I don't want them to say that. So it's Nula, this top. And she is a linen from Quince & Co. I assume they still do it. It's a reasonably heavy, like a ribbon linen. And it's, if you find linen quite tricky on your hands, this is quite a good one to try, because it is ribbony and it's not so hard on your hands. I don't mind linen. I find cotton harder on my hands. But anyway, that's like a worsted weight. It's quite a weighty sort of garment, but it has a lot of movement to it. And it's sort of bat wings. So you start on the shoulder and you knit this lace panel, which makes it lovely for summery weather. I wear it with a little singlet underneath, but you don't have to. And then you start with the shoulder panels, so you knit those, and then you pick up along the shoulder panels and you do a tiny drop for the back neck and then join the back neck, and then you do the same for the front. And I've actually got a label in the back to tell me this is the back. See, this is the back. I put it in so that I know that's the back, because when you're looking at it, the drop of the front is and the back is similar, although actually it's fallen forward on me a bit. I'll try and dress myself in the mirror. It's all back to front, so it's hard. This is the side. I want to pull up a bit. Anyway, now I feel like I've got one of those off-the-shoulder numbers on, which I really don't wear off-the-shoulder numbers. So we'll try and arrange me a little bit better. There we go. She's fun. She's really fun. And then she has this kind of A-line, oh not A-line, opposite of A-line, has this bat wing idea. So you just do this 3-needle bind off. Actually, do you? I think you graft it. No, I get you to graft it underneath there, just a tiny bit. And then you go in a little bit for the body. And then she's got a dip at the back. She's really fun to wear, super fun. She's a good one to wear in this sort of weather, because just a little bit of weight, which I like. But she's nice and cool. I feel like I've got a lot of room in here, she's quite airy. And she keeps wanting to, I haven't quite got myself dressed right, have I? I'll get myself sorted. Oh, hi Susanna, not ye old crochet, knit and yarn. Are you a shop in Perth, Australia? That's a cool name. Nice to see you, Susanna. You've got the same spelling as my sister. Hi Robin, it's warm in Adelaide. And Rebecca, how nice to see you. Oh, hi Terry. It's a great day down south. No wind. Excellent. I saw that you tagged me in in your comment on Wardrobe Toolbox, and I haven't been over to have a little look yet, but the picture, when people tag me in Wardrobe Toolbox in our lounge, we have a lounge where everyone chats, then I get an email if I'm tagged, so I know that I've been tagged. And I saw that you're going to make a dress with that fabulous fabric that you've got, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'll go and have a proper look later. Hey Bernadette, nice to see you. Helen said she's watching from Hastings. She's tucked up in bed with a nasty cold with a sock on the go while I'm watching. It was great to watch live, as I'm normally at work and have to watch it on Thursday evening. Oh, well, it's nice to see you, Helen. It's Paloma, not Nula. This one is Nula. The other one is Paloma. I will wear Paloma. I thought about wearing Paloma today. Paloma is different. She's similar but different. Paloma is, well, she's different yarn. She's a lighter weight yarn. She's a fingering yarn, and she's a commercial yarn, and she's got all sorts of things in her, from I think she's got a bit of merino, a bit of linen. She might have a bit of raw silk. I can't remember, but she's a lighter weight, and my one is grey. But it's the same construction. There are some differences. Once I've got an idea in my head, I quite like having a play with it. So she also starts with the shoulder construction. This one's more fallen down, so I'll get her to go backwards. She starts with this shoulder construction, the same but different pattern. She's got like little chevrons on her shoulder. You pick it up much the same. She's got a slightly deeper neck at the front, and then she's not so wide. She doesn't go out so wide, so she stops kind of here, and then you leave the stitches for the top here live, so you don't bind those off like you do in this one. You bind them off, so you don't do that in the Paloma. You leave those live, and then you still do the pick up at the back and the pick up at the front, and you do short rows for the shoulder drop, because it's got a really big shoulder drop. Look at that. You can see the triangle that we've created here with that shoulder drop. It just gives you more movement and it feels comfortable to wear. So you do short rows to create that. Paloma's the same, but remember, she just goes to here, so it's not quite as deep. See? And then you knit the depth of the sleeve, and you do more or less the same. She has a straight body. She has a high-low hem. Pretty sure I did that in that one. But what I did then was I came back and I picked up around the armhole for Paloma. These stitches are already live. So those go straight on your needle. And then you pick up around the armhole, and then you continue to knit the lace down the little sleeve. And so the sleeve is actually a little popped in like that. So she's a totally different look. So the sleeve is sort of up here like that, and this part, imagine that we'd picked it up round and we'd sewn it in, but you get to continue your lace, and then she has this tiny bit of a detail at the bottom to finish off the sleeve. She's another one of my favorites for the summer. I do like summer tops, I really do. I'm about to do another one for my wardrobe toolboxes anyway, so that will come at the end of the year. They're really good to wear. I keep playing with myself. Let me just think about it, and I'll see if I can get myself dressed without, look, I can't seem to get myself dressed right today. Sorry, everybody. You're just going to have me all slopping all over the show. Hey, Patsy, nice to see you. Nice, Susan. It's too cold today in Waimaku, is it? Oh, Rebecca, I'll tell you that in a second. Hi, Susan. Nice to see you too. Rebecca says she's struggling to pronounce Saoirse. So Saoirse is another one. Saoirse, I can kind of write her fine because it's almost all the vowels. Saoirse, another Irish name. My grandmother was Irish. She was born in Dublin. So I have an Irish passport. Anyway, Saoirse there's an actress called Saoirse something. My kids talk about her. And she calls herself, I think there are two different ways of pronouncing it. And she calls herself one thing, but this is Saoirse. Anyway, that's how you say it. I don't remember if I put a little pronunciation thing in it. I may have. Sometimes I do that with them. I've done a couple of Irish names. Jessica said, I have some Quince & Co. linen. I'm thinking of casting on reef. Yes, that's another one I did with linen. Yeah, I'm not quite warm enough for reef yet. I'm getting there. I washed her the other day, so she's all ready for me for the summer. And I think I actually would quite like another little tank. You know, I'm less keen on wearing sleeveless things lately because with my rather significant body changes that have happened to me over the last year, it's been the last year, I'm less keen on wearing sleeveless tops, but it gets so hot here. I think they're just inevitable in the heat of the summer. So I think I should do another one, and then we just, I just suck it up. I just do it. Barbara says, I have some gorgeous 4-ply subby raw silk in a magenta colour, and I'm looking forward to knitting a summer top with. Oh, Barbara, that sounds beautiful. 4-ply subby raw silk. That does sound really, really beautiful. Someone, actually, I think it was Claire, told me the other day that, I'm going to get this all wrong now, but there's some silk. Maybe, Claire, you can mention in the comments. There's silk that you can get near me in New Zealand, which I'm quite keen to have a go with. I do love silk. I use silk for an Adira top my Adira tops. Both of them I've used pure silk. Bye. It's my daughter. She's going off somewhere. She's finished her mock exam, so she's floating around and borrowing the car. So she's off today. Okay, what was I going to talk to you about today? I was going to say, first of all, I wanted to talk to you about a little bit of sewing. Some ideas I've had, and then I wanted to tell you a little bit about Wardrobe Toolbox because the doors are opening quite soon, and I will talk about it a lot more next week probably and the week after, but I just wanted to remind you that the doors are opening and just to mark your calendars and be thinking about if you want to join, because there's only this opportunity between now and March. This will be it. Next doors open next time in March. Okay, so I'm currently making a shawl. I can't show it to you because it's for Wardrobe Toolbox, and I've mucked around with the colours for this thing quite a lot, and I've settled on now on a colour scheme that I absolutely love, and it's flying off my needles and I'm really happy with it. But I like making clothes to go with knits because two reasons. One, it really helps me plan a whole thing. I really think in outfits, and so when I'm making something and looking to feel inspired, that's a really big thing for me, is thinking how I'm going to wear it, what am I going to wear it with. And because I'm a sewer as well as a knitter, I often think about sewing things, partly because I really don't like shopping. I've never been a person that enjoys shopping. I don't know why. I just find it overwhelming, I think. Sometimes I'm okay if I have a specific thing. Sometimes I can find something, and if I'm just wandering around, which is very, very, very rare, I go to the shops, to be frank. But sometimes if I'm wandering around for something, I'll see something and I think, oh yes, I'll have that. And it might be, I don't know, am I impulsive about it? I'm not sure. But I'm just not a big fan of shopping. I never really have been. And I don't know why, particularly. And also because the colours seem so boring a lot of the time. I used to like, when I was younger, I used to like Estuary. And I think one of the reasons I liked Estuary was because the colours were wonderful. I loved the colours. And the other shop I loved when I lived in the UK, which I still sometimes peep over and have a little look at online, is, what's it called? Oh, it's gone out of my head now. But it's really bright. It's not Bowden. It's a high street store. I can remember when it opened. Anyway, that's hopeless. But I liked that one too because it was really colourful. And I just liked the colour in the clothes. And anyway, I don't see so much of that at the moment. Last few years, everything's got a bit sort of beige and drab, or else it's really bright. I don't know. I just like interesting colours. Anyway, so I quite like to sew. And I've got this shawl that I'm making, which those of you who join Wardrobe Toolbox and are already in Wardrobe Toolbox, you will see that. And I think you're going to really love it, actually, because I really love it. And sometimes when I get that feeling, then it's something that you really love too. So I'm really looking forward to showing it to you. It's different to anything we've done before, but it's going to be really fun. So I've got this shawl and I was playing around with ideas for colours and I was coming up with some combinations and I was knitting a bit and then I was like, I don't like this, I'm changing it. Anyway, I was thinking I need to make a skirt to go with it. Was it Gorman? No, not Gorman. Give me another one. These are the shops in the UK. I'm just going to have a little look. Claire said, Knit and Stitch are now selling knitting for Olive. This is for the people who live in New Zealand. Knit and Stitch, they're here, based here in Auckland. They're selling knitting for Olive and they have a silk yarn. So those of you, knitting for Olive is everywhere, but apparently they have a silk yarn. I have to tell you, wearing silk is phenomenal. So if you can stretch to it, even for a small thing, which is why my idea is quite nice, because it's just a little summery top. Silk is absolutely beautiful to wear. Michelle says, I hate clothes shopping too. Stuff doesn't fit properly. Yarn shopping, however, I'm particularly good at. I know it's like buying fabric and yarn. I know it's so nice. Not Benetton. Although I didn't mind Benetton. Wasn't I Benetton? There's a shop that's still there. It's still there. I want to call it Witchery, but it's not that. I know it's not that. I have some boots from there. They do all sorts of things. In Cambridge, it was on a corner. It was a corner shop. And blimey, what's it called? It's going to come to me the minute I get off. I'll let it download from the cloud and we'll see if it arrives in the next little while. Anyway, I liked it because it was pretty. Things were pretty and I quite like Jigsaw. I got a beautiful, beautiful magenta silk dress from Jigsaw and some really cool sort of coral strappy shoes once upon a time. But it wasn't Jigsaw. It was further down near Trinity College on a corner, if anyone knows. Monsoon. I do quite like Monsoon, but it wasn't Monsoon. Keep going, people. It's something else. Okay. The minute I get off this, I'll know I'll remember it. I can just go and look at my boots. I've got 2 pairs of boots. And a pair of sandals, which I've just biffed, actually, because they'd really died. Okay. And little singlets. I've got all sorts of things from there. So I had this idea I wanted to make a skirt. Now, first of all, I've actually slightly changed my colour scheme since this first one, but I have actually bought myself a pattern. And the first one I pulled out was this. And I actually I'm going to make this because I adore this fabric. Look at that. Isn't that just absolutely beautiful? It's a rayon. It is just deliciously yum. And not River Island. You keep on going. Monsoon. You people, you'll figure it out. Anyway, I just thought that was beautiful. I got that from in Devonport. It's shut now. White Stuff, no, not White Stuff. I do have some nighties from White Stuff. Mr. Myrtle's bought me, but not White Stuff. But it's all in that same range. There's another one. It's still open. Anyway, I love this. There was a place in Devonport here in Auckland, and I'm pretty sure it's closed. It's like a Jeff's Emporium. It used to be. We have these places: Jeff's Emporium, Peter's Emporium, Bruce's Emporium. Anyway, it was an emporium, and at the back they had a whole bunch of fabric, and they had this, and I just thought it was absolutely gorgeous. I bought it a few years ago, and I want to make a skirt out of it. No, not Jules. I do remember Jules though. Gosh, I remember Jules from when I lived in London. And they did yarn, didn't they, for a while, Jules? I can't remember. I feel like they did. But anyway, I don't remember. It wasn't Jules. No. Anyone who lives in Cambridge, it's on a corner. It used to be on a corner. Oh, it's so annoying. I can't remember. Gosh, names I think my ability to remember names is getting worse. Okay, so this is the skirt. I got quite a lot of it. I wanted to make something that was really flowy. Now, years ago in an op shop, I picked up not Anthropology, although I've seen Anthropology, but I don't think that was in England when I was still there. I've seen it only online. Well, it wasn't in Cambridge anyway when I was living in Cambridge, not that I saw. Not Kath Kidson. Oh, for goodness sake. Anyway, come on, guys. You can think of it. You'll remind me. Okay, so this is a skirt. I got quite a bit of it. Years ago, I bought it in an op shop. I bought this flouncy skirt, which is actually, I think, was a dress. And you know those ones that have a ruched top, and you're supposed to wear them as a bandana booby top, and then it has flips off the bottom, you know, tears off the bottom. And this one I bought, it was so fine. It was like a Liberty lawn. It was so fine, and I just wore it as a skirt, and I loved it, and I've worn it to death, to the point that not toast, but I do get the toast emails. Oh my gosh, I love the toast stuff. It's a little bit masculine though, a lot of it, and it's a little bit more masculine toast. This one is go back. It's more feminine. It's a lot more kind of pretty details on things. Fabric store have some mid-weight linen at 50% off at the moment. Don't tell me that, Terry, because I have so much fabric. I really have to use it, and I've decided I'm going to just I just have to use the fabric I've got. So anyway, I bought this skirt. I wore it to pieces. It had a couple of tears off it. Had elastic, lots of elastic. The ones that have lots of elastic at the top. So it was supposed to sit around your boobs, and I wore it around my middle. And I loved it, and it got so old that I was wearing it in the garden the last, I don't know how many years, and I've just pulled it out and just knotted it at the side. Not Betty Monroe, I don't know that one. I pulled it outside and did a big knot. It's absolutely fallen apart. It is so fallen apart, and I want to replace that skirt because I just love it. And this is slightly different. This is a rayon. Anyway, someone in Wardrobe Toolbox told me about this skirt, which I think she just made it in the lounge, and it was called the Mave Skirt, and so I bought it. And it's like, I know it's simple and I could do it, but I thought, without a pattern, but I thought I'm just going to do a pattern, because at least then I know it's just going to work out quick and easy. So I bought the Mave Skirt. It's from True Bias, and I printed off a couple, because you know how I like having my brown envelopes, my brown envelopes like this that I use. I buy online. I use those to put all my pattern pieces in, and they're like craft paper, brown craft paper. So I printed off a picture to go on the front, just a little one, but I thought I'd show you a bigger one. This is what I just thought. This was really cute. I could see myself wearing that in the summer, so I thought I'd make it with this, and it would just be lovely and flouncy and a little bit loud and summery and bold, and I just feel fabulous, and I love the coolness of the fabric. It feels cool to the touch. It reminds me of when you knit with bamboo. Bamboo feels cool to the touch, and this rayon does as well. It's lovely. It really is lovely and cool. So that is what I'm going to make with it. I rather like her sandals too, aren't they nice? Those are the kind of sandals you'd buy at Toast, aren't they? Those are very toasty sandals. They're lovely. And jigsaw perhaps even as well. Anyway, fabulous skirt. So I thought that's nice and easy peasy. I think I quite like the idea of the little tie at the front. That seems to me that it's sort of pretty. It adds a bit of pretty to it. So I'm going to make that, and I haven't washed my fabric yet, but I have the pattern. I went to the warehouse stationery, for those of you in New Zealand. I went to the big stationery warehouse stationery, and I got the pattern printed off. It's only 2 pages. Someone else in Wardrobe Toolbox suggested the other day that when you're asking for big A0 patterns printed off, ask for them to be done in as plans. And so I said to the man, I don't want a poster, I want a plan. And apparently that affects the price. And he said to me, if it's just a line drawing, we should automatically do it as a plan. But it probably pays to check, just to remind them, because the price is quite a bit cheaper than if you printed it as a poster. He said if there's pictures on it, which arguably I think sometimes they could think there might be like a PDF on it, but if there is, then they'll print it as a poster, and that's going to cost you a lot more. So I had it printed as a plan, and it's done in A0. I haven't checked that. I made a big deal of, you've got to make sure that the little square is the right size, and I'm going to leave that with you and trust it's fine. And every time I've had it done, it has been, but I haven't checked it this time. Not yet. It's rolled up over there. I choose it's 2 pages, so it wasn't too expensive. I choose the lightest paper. There's a range of paper that you can choose to have it printed on. He showed me in his little book all these different papers. I don't remember being asked that before, but anyway, maybe because I made a fuss about the plan versus poster, he thought he'd roll out all the options. And I just chose the thinnest paper. I just want the bog standard paper, paper that you'd print on. And I'm going to trace it. So I'll trace it anyway. I found this lovely thick architect's drafting paper, which is sort of opaque, slightly white, marbly sort of look. And I'm going to print it onto that because it's really robust and it folds nicely. And then I'll have the pattern, because if my girls want to make it, or if I, want to make a different size at some point, I do like having the pattern there. So I'll just print it. I'll just trace it off. And then I've got my stiff piece. It's quite stiff, this paper. It's not paper, it's like a plastic, and it's quite stiff, and so I'll use that for my pattern. So that is the plan. I thought I'd tell you all of that. I'm not 100% sure what to wear on the top, because if I don't use it to wear for this pattern photo, which I may not, because I've just got something else I'll show you in a second, then I was thinking I'd quite like a little top with it. I have a couple of options here. I have this, but I think it might be a bit stiff. It hasn't been washed yet. This is a cotton jersey. Look, it's a real tie-dyed number. I just thought it would make it's quite a sweet little cap sleeve t-shirt. And I thought I could wear that over the top. I mean, it's a bit different, but I could wear that over the top. Just it'd have to be reasonably fitted and cap sleeve. I think that would be quite cute, but I'm unsure because I think I'll have to wash it and see, but it's just a little bit, some of them feel a little bit stiff. I got it at Spotlight. It says printed cotton jersey. I don't know who makes it or anything. Printed cotton jersey. It was on a sale, and I just thought, I'm just going to get that because I thought it was that just brought back my 70s childhood with all the tie-dyed. My son, when he turned 5, we were not long in England, not long in Cambridge anyway, and we had a birthday party, and because he was my first child, I went big on the birthday parties for the first ones. The fourth one, not so much. But anyway, he had a birthday party, and because our house was little, I think we'd just moved. No, we were just about to move. Sorry, I was quite pregnant. I was pretty much 9 months pregnant with my third. And we were just about to move because I moved the week before. They're only 10 days apart, these two kids. Well, their birthdays are 10 days apart. He's 5 years older. But we moved into that house when we bought our place, and I had that baby at home with all the boxes around. I was only in the house for a week before she was born. And so it was before we moved, and we were renting this quite tiny place. Those little places you open the door and you're in the sitting room, one of those. It's teeny tiny, 2 bedrooms. Kids all slept in our bed anyway, so everyone was with this bed next to beds, massive beds everywhere in our bedroom. But it was, upstairs, downstairs, and you walked into the sitting room. So the house was too little to have a birthday party, and it was May. So his birthday's right at the end of May, so he's a lovely spring baby. Anyway, so we threw a party at the park, and we took our tent. We had this fabulous French tent that we got at Decathlon that we camped in it for 3 months prior to this. When we moved over, we went for this massive camping adventure for 3 months. It was so much fun. We just toured all around and went wherever we felt like going for 3 months in Italy and France and over to Croatia and up through into Germany. It was such a good trip. Anyway, best trip of my life, I think. And we had this tent, and it was like one of those tunnel tents, and so we didn't put up the bedrooms or anything in it. So we had a tunnel tent we put up in the park. We took the top of the dining room table and we put it down low, so it was on, I think I had tubs or something, so it was low down for the kids, this big long dining room table. And I had all the birthday things. I don't know how I did it. I was so pregnant, but anyway, I was younger. But I bought these, I had those big plastic tubs. Remember when those Gubba tubs first came out, those big plastic ones? And I filled those up. I bought a whole bunch of cheap t-shirts at, wherever I bought them, Sainsbury's or something. And I had little white t-shirts in a variety of little sizes around the age of 5-year-old kids. And I invited a bunch of kids over, boys and girls. And I had washing line that I strung up in the trees, and pegs, and then dye and rubber bands. And this is a long way of telling the story. But anyway, they all made tie-dyed t-shirts, and I had blue and I had yellow. I think that's the two colors. I remember blue. I'm pretty sure maybe it was green. I can't remember. It was like a yellow or a green and blue. And we got the kids, they wrapped up all their t-shirts and put rubber bands on them and did this stuff. And then I had these big tubs of, we filled up with water and dye, and then they just chose their color and dropped their t-shirt in. I think we must have written their names on the labels or something, so they knew whose was who. And then when they were soaked in there, and they're all cold, it was cold water dyes, and then when they soaked, we got them out and they unraveled them, and they found these tie-dyed t-shirts. The kids just loved it. And then we hung them all in the trees, on my washing line in the tree, and had the big party with games and stuff on the field. It was such a good party. But they do decline. Those big two kids, they had some amazing parties. Actually, so did my third, but they kind of go downhill after that, don't they? You put all the effort in the beginning. Anyway, a tie-dye. So it reminds me of that tie-dye from those days. This is also sort of tie-dye-ish. This is the other one I was thinking of using. Now, I think this is a little piece of silk. I got this on something, I think it might be. I got this a wee while ago. This is the other one I thought would be quite pretty to wear with it. This look, it's kind of got these little patterns on it. It looks a little bit lighter. Oh no, it's more pronounced. It's more muted in real life together, but I thought that could be quite cute as well over the top. I'm not sure, but I just thought you might as well just go pattern on pattern if you're going to do something. But I might make myself, I should probably do both of those, shouldn't I? But I might make myself a little top to go with it. So if you have any ideas for tops, let me know, and I will have a look at them, because I do love hearing about different sewing patterns. I don't get a chance to go hunting out all the sewing patterns as much as I would like. I just get too busy, and I don't really use social media, and so I don't necessarily see all the things. I rely on emails. All right, I'm wondering if I'm still going live because I can't see any more comments. Oh, here we go. Terry says, I've got a pair of those sandals. I really need some summer weather to bring those out. Oh, I love those sandals, Terry. Those flat ones. They're so nice. Barbara says, I like the second fabric to go with the skirt. Yes, I think the second fabric, that was my first choice when I went through. That was definitely my first choice. And I thought that actually could be really, really quite pretty. And yeah, I found these fabulous shoes at the op shop last year. With my daughter likes going op shopping, and so I have a poke around when she's there. And I found these fabulous, quite high, strappy sandals that would look quite good with that. Style Arc patterns. Style Arc. I think I get their emails, Barbara. I really rely on emails to get patterns. Okay, I've got another skirt. If you are interested in making a flouncy skirt, I thought I'd just show you this one because I haven't made it, but I bought it. Now this woman, By Hand London, is her name. It's like Elizabeth, but it's not, is it? It's Elspeth, or an Ogden cami would look nice. Yeah, Helen, I love Ogden camis. I've got a couple of those. They would look really nice. Anyway, she's a beautiful, beautiful woman, the woman that has By Hand London. And she's got this mane of blonde hair, and she's just beautiful woman. Anyway, she has got these patterns. She's got a bunch of BHL, By Hand London, draft it yourself patterns, and they're really interesting. I bought this one, the Ruffle Hem Skirt pattern. I just thought that was very, very pretty. I seem to be having a phase where I just want to wear all the pretty clothes at the moment. I just really fancy wearing pretty clothes. It could be summery thoughts. But anyway, it's this wrap skirt that has that, I just thought in the right fabric, that little wrap, the little frilly there, I thought about it for that one, but I think I'm just going to do the tiered skirt for that one. But what she does is she has this pattern. There are no pattern pieces. And she talks about how to draft a pattern for you. So there's all these different, I don't know, she's just got all these different instructions. I won't show it all to you, but she's talking about circle skirts and making a circle and how big to make the frill and how to make it fit you and all of those things, and then talks about how to put it together for you. And I thought it was quite an interesting idea, and I'd like to have a bash at it. I wonder if this is her label or whether that's skill. Could be one sewing machine. It could be one sewing machine of skill. I'm not sure. Anyway, that is one that I think is probably worth having a look at. There's some beautiful examples of this skirt on the web. The Ruffle Hem Wrap Skirt by Hand London. She has a very, very feminine collection of patterns. Just beautiful, really beautiful stuff. My Nula looks like it'll also be a good match. Oh, good, with this skirt. Yes, it probably will, actually. I probably could wear that with it really quite nicely. And it's funny, isn't it, that I think when you go for clothes, when you go for colours and fabrics and things that you love and yarns and all of those things that sing to you, I think you'll often turn around and find there's things that will go with them that you already have because you're just following your nose. A lot of people say to me, oh, I shouldn't make things with blue. I always make blue, or I shouldn't make things with purple. I always use blue, whatever colour it is for you. But I just think, oh, it doesn't matter. Just make as many as you want with the things. Just follow your nose and do things that make you feel something. Because when you don't feel it, that's a bit sad. It's nice to do things that, make you feel something. It's nice to have these pleasures. The small pleasures add up to big, big things. And I really, just do what suits you, what works for you, and what just makes you feel that little feeling. Oh yes, that'd be nice. Oh, flip, I can see that. That would be, that makes me feel a little bit excited. Do that. That's what I reckon. Terry said, I use a basic shirt pattern for most of my little tops rather than buying lots of patterns. Terry, that is such a good idea. And I feel like I need a year off. I've just been saying this lately. I'm not going to have a year off, don't worry. But I feel like I need a year off just to make all the clothes I want to make all year. Design the patterns I want to design. Sew the things I want to sew. Decorate my house the way I want to do it. Recover some furniture. I just feel like, maybe that's what retirement is? Is that retirement? That maybe it is. I'm not ready to retire. But I have to figure out how to do it in amongst everything else, just little bits and pieces. Okay, someone said Merchant and Mills. Elizabeth, Merchant and Mills crew neck field edition PDF. I made this without the rib. Oh, the field neck. Is it a fielded dress? Crew neck fielder. I feel that's a dress. Is that right, Elizabeth? I think so. I think I know that one. And I think I know it with the rib on top. I'm going to have a go and have a little look at that. You've reminded me of all the circular ballet skirts I made in the 90s. Oh, yes, Alyssa. All those pretty skirts. And where you could twirl. A good twirl. Oh, hi, everyone. It's Raining Yarn. That's a good name. Okay, so then I had a thought. This current shawl that I'm making is, it's pretty. It's really, really pretty. And I thought, I'm sort of leaning towards going with some other fabric for it. So I pulled this out this morning because this one has been sitting in my fabric for a long time in my fabric stash, and I adore it, and I haven't made anything with it. And it's a Nani Iro fabric. It's a double gauze fabric, and it's just divine. And Nani Iro, for those of you who know, there has these repeats. There's interesting things happening in the fabric, and I just love it. So I'm thinking I'd quite like to make something with that to go with it. A skirt. I have this idea of a skirt. I like skirts. I like skirts and tops. For my wedding, I wore a skirt and a top. It looked like a dress, but it was actually a skirt and a top. And I pulled it out of the cupboard the other day. I'm not sure what to do with it. It's got a little bit discoloured because I did a lot of dancing that night, and I spilt wine on it. All over. It just got messy. Anyway, the bottom got messy. It's a little bell skirt, and then the top was like a little bodice with beading all around the neck. It was pretty. It was really, really pretty. But it was two pieces. I've just always liked wearing 2 pieces. Anyway, this is what I'm thinking to make something out of this. Now, I wasn't sure what my mum suggested. I could make a skirt with buttons, and she has these vintage pink buttons, so I'm going to check those out and see if they're the right kind of pink. That could look really pretty with the buttons down the front. And I pulled out this. I thought, what do I own already? What patterns do I own already that I could use? I wore my I wore that little skirt I made a few years ago. I'm wearing it in my Adira shots. I'm wearing a blue skirt. I'll see if I can find it for you. Hang on. It's such a... I also use Nani Iro. Adira top. I'll just hunt it up for you. Here we go. Where's a picture of the actual skirt? Not that one. I'll see if I can find it. Whoops a days. Might be here. Oh, you can see the top of it. Oh, that's my Adira top. And you can see the top of the skirt. And so it's this lovely linen. It's a linen. And it has buttons all the way down the front. And and it's got pockets on the side. I can't remember if the pattern had pockets or not. I put pockets in it. And I wore that the other day. I actually wore it with a little linen shirt over the top and my outlaw cardigan, which is sort of that. The buttons are kind of a slightly biscuity colour, and I wore this little fine linen shirt with a fine pinstripe through it, and not tucked in, just it's kind of billowy. And then I wore my pink sneakers and my outlaw cardigan over the top, and yeah, I really liked that. That was great. Anyway, quite a lot of people commented on my skirt, and it reminded me that I do like wearing that skirt. Anyway, it's I used a pattern. Oh, it's just like a super easy. It's a free pattern. It's called something like Zoe, or I probably said it on my blog. If you have a little look on my blog, where I made Adira, I think it's called An Outfit for Me, something like that. Anyway, I use this free pattern, and I could do that again, but I thought I actually also have this one, and I thought maybe this one would be quite cute. I'm a little unsure about the pockets, but maybe it could work. So this is the Estuary skirt by Sew Liberated. Now I have that already, and I printed out a little picture so I could stick it on the front of my envelope. But that could work, that kind of fullness of the skirt, and then have something simple, very simple on the top. I need to be mindful of the fact that I have to photograph it, and so I want you to see the shawl. So I'll have to think about what that would be underneath. And yeah, I thought that could look quite good if I found some pretty buttons. But it's got these pockets sort of set on the top. They're sewn on like a patch pocket. I'll have to look at the pattern and see what the options are for pockets. But it's a little bit different. So yeah, it's a little bit different than what I've got in other skirts. So maybe I could try that. Hi Nancy, nice to see you. Yes, so that's what I'm thinking for this double gauze, is to make a make the Estuary skirt. You could put inseam pockets. Yeah, I could. That's what I'm going to think about. See, my other one has inseam pockets. But this one might be nice. Just have something just a little bit different, but maybe not too baggy. I don't want these big baggy pockets. So I'll see. But that's what I'm thinking. I'll have to do it quite soon because I need to do the photographs for that shawl and have it ready for October. So I'll show you when I do it. I was curious what your daughter said when she saw you in her sweater. This was last week. I wore my daughter's sweater, and she didn't see me in the morning, and I enjoyed wearing that all day. And then I picked her up from school, and she was sitting in the car. I'm trying to remember if her sister was in the car or not. I think no, she always sits in the front on the way home, so irrespective of where her sister was, she was in the front. And she noticed that I had the jersey on. What are you wearing? That is my jersey. I said, I know, but you wear my things, and it feels so good, and I'm really enjoying wearing it. You're going to stretch it, she said. You're going to stretch it, and it's my jersey. I said, yeah, but I'm just going to wear it. She said, you could take it off. I said, I can't take it off because I've got something. I haven't got anything. I've got a singlet underneath. I'm not taking it off. I'll get too cold. It's fine. I'm just going to keep wearing your jersey for the day. Anyway, she was a bit miffed about the fact I had a jersey on, but I said, it's so nice, and I've washed it. It's washed for you, so it'd be good. Anyway, yeah, she was a bit annoyed that I had her clothes on. I said, well, this is what it feels like when you borrow my clothes. You know, that blue top of mine that you keep wearing all the time. This is what it feels like. So it's not a very good excuse because now she'll keep wearing it all the time, my blue top. But anyway, yeah, she was miffed. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you today and my thoughts about sewing. White stuff. No, it's not white stuff. Oh, it is white stuff. It is white stuff. I want to see white stuff. Hang on a second. There's two shops and one is literally white and the other has a name like that, but they have colourful things. Oh, flip. It is white stuff though, isn't it? Did someone already say that? And I said no. Hang on. Now I have to look it up because it's really bothering me. I put wote stiff. That's not right. White stuff. UK. And then we'll all be satisfied when I am able to sort this out. What's the other one called then if it's not white stuff? White stuff. Oh, I think maybe it is. I think someone already said it, but I thought of the other shop. What's the other shop that they had it? Yeah, it's white stuff. Okay. Because it's a little bit more funky. The other one, the white room, or there's another one. Everything's like white and pale blue, and I've got Nikes from there. Okay. Oh, this could be it. Yeah, I think this is it. White stuff. The UK's biggest fashion retailer. Looks a little bit different than I remember. Anyway, this is the website. White stuff. They've got a sale on at the moment, up to 70% off for women and men. What, 15% off? You can give them your email. I think you're in New Zealand, even knows where I am. But it has things like, I promise, I didn't even know their name. Oh, the White Company. Yes, the White Company. That's the other one. It's all the whites. That's what confused me. So whoever said white stuff before, and I said no, it is white stuff. I got that wrong. Anyway, they have really cute outfits like, look, like this. The brighter, the colours are a bit, interesting and brighter, and they're just a little bit more fun. There's a lot more fun happening in them, and I feel like they're quite feminine, which I really like wearing things that feel a bit feminine. Oh, the other pictures aren't coming up. Don't know why. Here's, oh, I like this one too. See? They're just sort of fun. I've bought shoes from them before, and I used to buy quite a few clothes from them years ago. That one's a bit shapeless, but the fabric is fun. I can't find that fabric in New Zealand like that. I haven't seen, well, not that I shop much, but I haven't gone to the shops and found affordable clothing with interesting fabrics like this. So, interesting fabrics, I think. Anyway, white stuff. I'm glad we realised what it was called. I'm glad we got to that. Okay, I wanted to wrap up just by telling you that the doors for Wardrobe Toolbox are opening on the 18th of September. So it's not next week, it's the week after. I'll come and tell you a bit more about it next week. I'll answer your questions and you can ask me anything you want about it, and we can talk about it a bit more. It is a membership program. And it is quite niche. This is quite a niche thing. The people in Wardrobe Toolbox love to make clothes. And so if you're someone that loves to make clothes, it could be a great place for you. It can cover a range of experiences of knitting. Primarily, we focus on knitting. That is our primary thing. And we talk a lot about making garments. We talk a lot about making garments. We talk about who are we actually knitting for, and we look at our own measurements, and we look at our own shape, and we think about our own style. We talk about yarn. We talk a lot about yarn because there's a lot to learn about yarn and the way it behaves and the kind of things you want to make. And it's really nice to cast on and understand that this yarn on these needles at this gauge for this side, this pattern is going to turn out the way I want. And so we talk quite a lot about yarn. We talk about gauge. We're learning how to be pro swatchers, and it's not as boring as it sounds. It's actually really quite fun, gauge swatching. We talk about gauge. We talk about choosing a size. We talk about modifications, all sorts of modifications. We talk about techniques when you're making things, whether it is anything from shawls to hats to socks, garments. We have a lot of garments. We can make anything you want and chat about it. And then we also have sort of an add-on, an extra, we have things about sewing that pop up, because quite a few people over the years indicated that they were sewers, they loved sewing, or they used to sew and wanted to sew again. So we've brought in a sewing element, but it's not our mainstay. It is an adjunct. So if you're not interested in sewing, you just ignore that part. It's just there. And so there's lessons about if you want to do some sewing, and there's some we've had some really good ones actually, and to be funnily enough, a lot of them translate very well over into knitting. So even if you feel like you're not really a sewer, I think the sewing lessons are incredibly informative to help you with your knitting. We get patterns every second month. So I'll give you a pattern, which is what I'm working on now. And I usually start the season with an accessory. It's usually a shawl, because a lot of us, it's nice to introduce new techniques with shawls. It's nice to think about color combinations with shawls. It's nice to not have the stress about whether it fits or not. It's just to really focus on what we're doing is techniques with the next shawl, but also color combinations, and we can keep revisiting these things. So we start with a shawl. Generally the second pattern will be a garment, and we have a range of garments. I do all sorts of things, from summer tops to big cardies to everything in between. We do all sorts of things, and I often try and tie the pattern back to a specific lesson, so that there be something in it that might be new to you, or you might be looking at it from another direction, or thinking about something about it. Like, for example, the last pattern that we had last season, the season we're in now, season 9, it's been going, we're going into the 10th season. They're 6-month seasons. The last pattern we had in this season was a little vest, this little slip over. We'd already had a garment, and so we got another garment, which was this little smaller garment. But the thing we talked about was combining yarns together to create a fabric, because we talk a lot about creating fabric. And the idea was that with the lesson we talked about, well, what weight of yarn am I creating? If I'm using all these different yarns together, how do I know what kind of yarn weight it is? I could swatch it, and that's a pretty long-winded way of figuring it out. But if I grab yarns and put them together, which we often want to do with patterns, well, you may want to do with patterns, and there's quite a lot of patterns where you're holding something with mohair and then just trying to figure out, well, am I like in the region of the gauge they're looking for, the region of the yarn weight they're looking for? So we had a lesson all about that, but we've had all sorts of different lessons. I'll talk more about that next week. We do live videos, so you get to chat to me. There's usually something happening every week. Well, there is something happening every week. If it's a 4-week month, then 3 out of those 4 weeks will be a live video with me. And one of those weeks will be a new lesson where I've done video lessons for you and handouts and stuff like that. It's pretty comprehensive. A lot of people join because they want to learn how to make garments that fit them. And so that you will learn that. You will learn how to make a garment that fits you. You will learn how to make modifications that suit your body. And I feel quite confident about that, because I've heard so many people say, oh my gosh, I didn't even know I could make this. Like, I didn't even know I could make something that fits me. I'm learning all these things. I hear that over and over and over and over and over. So that is lovely. It's so, so cool watching people make things that they're absolutely thrilled with. But a lot of people stay, even after they start making things that fit them, partly because this is a never-ending topic, knitting. It is a never-ending topic. There are so many things to talk about. We're always coming up with fun things. But they also stay because the community is so good. It is such a lovely, lovely community. There's hundreds and hundreds of people inside Wardrobe Toolbox at any one time. And we have a space where we can chat about all the things we're making. We have had in the past. I would like to do it again. It's a bit of work on our end, but also the postage has been a bit tricky the last few years. But we've had yarn swaps, and people have got to know each other. And little groups of Wardrobe Toolboxes meet up around the world, and so they get together regularly to chat. And I just was sent a lovely photo the other day of a group of women. There must have been more than 20 women at the table, all from Wardrobe Toolbox. And it is so nice to see everybody together. I really would like to visit more of these groups. So I will try and do that in the future. And the community is just very, very supportive. It's warm. You just get to be yourself. It's lovely. I really like it. And so a lot of people stay for that, because it's a really nice a really nice space. So the doors only open twice a year, and I do that because it's nice to have everybody in at the same time. And then we have 6 months together. And then at the end of that, you can choose to stay, and you can stay. Some people have been there right since March 2020. They've been there for 9 seasons, and they're going to join us and keep going for the 10th. So you can choose to stay for after that season, or you can leave at any time. You can leave any month you want to leave. There will be 2 options to subscribe, and one is where you pay every month, and you just pay the same amount every month. And the amount that you pay when you start is the amount you will pay forever. So at the moment, the price is going to stay the same as last time, but at some point it will go up a little bit. So I just can't quite do it yet, because I know things are really tight for people, and I just think I'm going to have to put my printed pattern prices up, though. I'll talk to you about that in a few weeks. I will have to do that because the printing prices have they're just about doubled. So I will put the printing prices up for my patterns. My pattern prices are going to stay the same, but Wardrobe Toolbox prices, I don't know, I'll give it another year. We'll just see where we're all at. But at the moment, they're staying the same. So you'll stay on that price. Enrollment 18th of September. I will tell you more about it when it comes. The best way to stay in touch with me is to join my mini mag. So it's truelymyrtle.com/mini mag, and I will tell you all about it there. You can also sign up at wardrobetoolbox.com and just jump on the waiting list, and you'll get emails about it and reminders and things. And so you can sign up from month to month, and just, if it's not for you, you can just leave at any time. If your circumstances change, you can leave at any time. But you can also sign up for the whole season, which is a 6-month season, and it works out to be a cheaper monthly price. So I will talk to you about that closer to the time. It's currently $38.50 a month, I think. New Zealand dollars. These are New Zealand dollars. So anyone who's not in New Zealand, just do the conversion, because it's going to be a lot cheaper, and it's going to, just convert it into your currency, because it's less in your currency. New Zealand dollars are, they look higher, but they're not so much. So it must be about $25 or something. No, it won't be that. That must be less than that. I can't remember. It must be about $22, maybe even less than that. Anyway, I'll give you a conversion closer to the time, but it's going to be in the regions. It's lower down for them. What else? I think that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to say, be alert. It's coming. If you're thinking about joining, then just work out how you're going to make it work. It's not a big time commitment. It's a bit of a lifestyle. It's a Wardrobe Toolbox lifestyle. But if you're someone that makes clothes, or wants to make more clothes, or has been feeling really annoyed that everything you're making you're not really wanting to wear, then you might enjoy it, even for a couple of seasons, just to get those skills under your belt, to have a few wins, to feel really successful in your knitting, and then you'll be like, right, I got it sorted. And so you might say, okay, I'll just budget for this amount of time, and then I'll see where I'm at. Here's Barbara. She says, I love the Wardrobe Toolbox community. It's so much fun and learning opportunities and new friends made. Yeah, and that is a comment I hear all the time. That's exactly the kind of comment I hear. I really didn't know I could do this. I hear that a lot. I've learnt so much. That has to be, honestly, we should make a t-shirt with that on it. I've heard that so many times. And I've made friends. I hear that a lot as well. I've made so many friends. There are people who have made friends across oceans inside Wardrobe Toolbox, and that is absolutely fantastic. I love it. So we're brought together by something that unites us, and we're brought together because we love making clothes. We love making clothes, and we love knitting, and some of us also love sewing, but we're making things, we're wearing them, and we want to talk about it with people, and we want to share things that we do in that space with other people. All the fiber arts, a lot of people spin. We've got quilters, all sorts of people do lots and lots of these fiber arts. And so it's really, it's so nice that that's what we talk about. And it's so nice, and we leave everything else at the door, and we all come in and we're united over this thing that brings us together. And I love living like that. I think it's a good way to live. Oh, thank you, Sharon. You're enjoying my chats. Yes, I can certainly chat. Oh, it's already 11 o'clock. I should go because I've been with you for so long. All right, everybody. I will see you next week. If you have any questions about Wardrobe Toolbox, head over and have a look at the website. I've answered a bunch of questions over there. So if you're not sure how good a knitter you need to be, or you're not sure how much time it takes, or it's not school, it's just absolutely not school. You might decide that you're only going to check in with the knit nights. We have a knit night every month. And that's how you check in on the knit nights. And you might also decide, I'm just going to actually knuckle down and I'm just going to look at all the lessons. And there's a particular thing I want to learn about. There's something around picking up stitches and it's really bothering me. I want to figure out this picking up stitches. And maybe you'll just dive into the material on that. It's a lot of material in there now. But you get to do it the way it works for you. You get to do it your way. So it's just there and available for you. You just take what works and then you leave the rest. Okay, I will be back next week. So if you have any questions, head over to Wardrobe Toolbox and have a little look. I'd love you to sign up to my mini mag, which is at truelymyrtle.com/mini mag. That is where I chat to you every single week. I send an email to you and hit your inbox and I just have a little chat with you and I'll show you some patterns and things I'm thinking about. If I have a new pattern, then you'll get a special mini mag discount code for that. It's the only place you can get that. And I also have a replay of this chat that I do every Thursday. So there's a replay in there, so you can just click on that. If you've missed it, you can catch up later. So that goes out. It's Thursday morning now in New Zealand. That goes out Friday morning every single week. So that's a nice way of staying in touch with me, and you just sort of get a feel of what's happening here at Truly Myrtle and Wardrobe Toolbox. Although mostly I talk about Truly Myrtle in the mini mag. All right, everybody. I'm glad we worked out it was white stuff. It's really good that I've got some thoughts around that skirt I'm making. I am dying to go and sit back down and finish my knitting, so I'm going to do that. I will see you the same time, same place next week. In the meantime, do heaps of knitting and have a lovely, lovely week. All right, everybody. I'll catch you later. Bye.